Hey everyone, it's Suriel Vazquez with MinnMax. Here are my top 10 games of 2019. My number 10 is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. That remake brings out everything that made the original so great. It's got some issues with frame rate and some of the puzzles are maybe haven't aged well, but I really enjoyed returning to that game in 2019. My number 9 is Observation, a really unique adventure game set in space where you play as an AI who has a bunch of cameras. It goes places with that premise. It is a very novel game, and I think you should see it through. My number 8 is Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. I didn't think Igarashi would pull it off either, but he has made a fantastic return to form when it comes to exploration games and games where you kind of have a bunch of abilities and can use them to traverse a castle. It's a very good one of those, and you should check it out. My number 7 is Fire Emblem Three Houses. The actual strategy part is actually maybe the weakest part because so much of returning to your castle and building up your crew and coming back to those characters over and over again has made for such a strong narrative that I think only games can pull off, and I definitely enjoyed all 90 hours I spent with it for sure. My number 6 is Ape Out, a game that is really just about this synesthetic coming together of sound, story, and like this really bombastic gameplay style that I think works really well in tandem when you're playing it, and videos don't do the game justice. I think you really have to play it. My number 5 is Devotion, which it's a shame that this game is actually no longer available for purchase because I think it uses horror as a fantastic jumping off point to tell a very personable and relatable story about tragedy and, peer pressure and all these different human aspects that make it rise above so many horror games, even in 2019. My number 4 is Wargroove. I'm a huge Advanced Wars fan, and Chucklefish has pulled out something I didn't even think Nintendo could do, which is bring this fantastic style of strategy back and also improve upon it along the way. My number 3 is Mortal Kombat 11, a game that I think does so much when it comes to single-player content in fighting games and also does so right by the competitive community in terms of changing the pace of the match to make it more interesting, adding a ton of new tweaks to existing characters, and overall just delivers a fantastic experience whether you're a competitive player or a casual player. My number 2 is Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. It's probably my favorite from software at this point because it has, I think, a wonderfully varied combat system. The world is a joy to explore, and the story is actually more interesting than you might give it credit for, and putting all of that together into one game is an incredible accomplishment, and I didn't even mind all the times that I died. My number 1 game of 2019 is Disco Elysium, a game that is so dedicated to the art of writing that it makes it the entire game in a way that doesn't feel like you're just passively taking in a story. It is a fantastic journey that mixes the philosophical with the funny, with the sometimes horrific and tragedy in such a powerful way that I think no other game did in 2019. Make sure to check out more MinnMax content and let me know how much you hated this list in the comments below. So long, f***ers!
Content like this is supported by the community on patreon.com/MinnMax.
And if you continue to support us and you're here long enough, you can even eventually hear me talk about Breath of the Wild 2.
Check us out. Thank you so much.